So today we will begin with the basics of oData. Okay, so it's just a theory. Yeah, it's open data protocol. Okay, you know what is a protocol? It's a set of rules like how you access the data. Okay, so that is what it is. So before we are going to the topic, uh, I will give you some little overview about oData. Okay, so earlier how the architecture used to be, we have this presentation server, we have our application server, then we have our database. Okay, now if I wanted to access something through web, it is very limited for me to the particular technology. Okay, now in SAP, if I wanted to access a data, then what language I have to use? I have to use the WebDriver app for web application. The same app I have to use all throughout the architecture, right? The presentation server also and the application server also. I have to write the ABAP programming. Okay, this limits my opportunity. Okay. Yeah. Now I have this data. I want others to access my data, and I wanted to build them, and I want them to build application on top of that. In this way, I can. Okay. So if you see Facebook, NASA, these are providing the APIs. Okay, they are providing the access to their data. You can register to them as a developer, and you can access those API, and you can create an application on top of that, and you can include it in yeah, you create an application in Facebook. Yeah, no, you cannot create our applications. Just hold on for a minute. Hello, hello. Training program. No, sure. Hello. Sami, just give me 2 minutes. Meanwhile, I will tell you one thing. You just watch that in your system. Just go to oData.org. So when you go to the website landing page, you will see a video here. Okay, a YouTube video. I want you to watch that video. It was already there. I have sent you the link. oData.org. Yeah. Yeah, I have sent the link. When you log in, you will see this video, in the first page. This video. Okay. Yeah, I will come back. Yeah. சரி ஒரு half an hour தான் கிளாஸ் முடிச்சு 10 மணிக்கு கூப்பிட்றேன். தூங்க போ நான் வந்து ஹெல்ப் பண்ணலாம். Yeah. உனக்கு எவ்வளோ பெரிய பதவி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. முடியுது எவ்வளோ சரி இப்போ 10 minutes கூப்பிட்றேன். அப்புறம் அந்த கம்பெனியில் ஆஃபர் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. 5,30,000 பண்ணுற அதை இருக்க தெரியாது அவனுக்கு. வேறு என்னது அமெரிக்கன் லிட்ரேச்சர்னு ஒரு பேப்பர் ஒன்று இருந்துச்சு அந்த இங்கிலீஷ் டீச்சருக்கு. ஹலோ ஹலோ என்னது புரியல. ம் யாரு நானா இல்லை நீ உன் பிள்ளைய கூட்டின்னு போய் பரிச்சை எழுதுறியா? செம்ம சூப்பர். 40 ரூபா வரும் கையில். என்னது என்னது ம் சரி. ஆ இன்னைக்கு என் கம்பெனியில் எனக்கு ஒரே அட்வைஸ், நாங்களே இது மாதிரி பண்ணுறோம் பேப்பர் போட்டுறாத. நான் தான் நாளைக்கு ஒரு முடிவு சொல்கிறேன்னு இருக்காங்க. நாளைக்கு முடிவு சொல்லலைன்னா போட்டலான்னு இருக்கிறேன். ம் சரி. ம் ம் சரி. சரி சரி சரி. அது வந்து தரேன் உனக்கு. உனக்கு இல்லாத சீட்டா? உனக்கு ஊருக்கு வந்தோடனே உனக்கு தான் முதல் சீட்டு. எதுக்கு அந்த இது? சரி நான் ட்ரெயின் முடிச்சு கூப்பிட்றேன். நான் 10 மணிக்கு கூப்பிட்றேன். ம் சரி சரி. வீடியோ கால் பண்ணுறேன். உன் தம்பி எல்லாரும். Hello. Sami, did you go through the video? What did you get from the video? Okay, so forget about it. I will tell you. Yeah. Okay, just forget about it. I will tell you the simple concept of what is oData. Okay, assume you are having a business. Okay, you are having a online shopping store. Okay, you have a lot of product to sell. You cannot always expect that people should come to your shop and purchase it. Okay, you cannot always expect that because your website may not reach all the peoples. You wanted to increase your sales. So what is the opportunity you can provide? Okay, I have the product. Okay, I myself cannot sell all the products. So I wanted to extend my supply chain so that they can sell the product. Okay, so what can be done here? I, if I provide the information on the product what I have, somebody can use that information and they can create a shopping site. So people will buy from the shopping site. They indirectly they place the order to me. If 10 people are opening this using my information and they are creating this shopping website, now my sources gets increased to 10 times. Okay, so I am extending my business opportunity by exposing my data. I am saying that I have these are the products with me. Some people who is interested in doing business, he make use of the API which I have provided, so he creates a website on that. So when somebody places the product on his website, I give him some commission. Okay, now I am extending my data services to reach the other peoples. Now if I have 10 suppliers, not all the 10 suppliers may be using the same technology. One may use jQuery, one may use PHP.NET, one may use JavaScript. Okay, so I cannot provide data in a different forms. So I provide a data in a standardized form which can be accessed by all the technological platform. People who are developing website with the help of PHP can access it. People who are using .NET can access it. People who are using JavaScript or HTML5 can access it. Okay, so you understood the concept. Why should I expose the data? No, just try to understand from the business perspective. You are having 100 products. Yeah, you have 100 products. You may not be able to reach 100% and sell the 100 product. Instead, what you can do is you can provide an information API on your products. Somebody who is interested in doing a partner service with you, he will be able to access the information you are providing us through the API. Based on the information, he can create a shopping portal that may reach 10 peoples. Some other guy may do the same thing that may reach some 15 people. Some other guy may do the same thing that may reach 20 people. So one guy may use PHP, one guy may use JavaScript, another guy may use .NET. Now I cannot provide data to each and everyone in the format they require. Instead, I provide in a format which is standardized format that everyone can access. Okay, so that is what the core principle of this oData services. Okay, so this oData is an open data protocol. It was initially created by Microsoft. Okay, so oData, when Microsoft created it, he released it under general public license, which means a open source. Okay, so he cannot claim the liability for that. Anyone is free to use that. Okay, now companies like eBay, IBM, Accenture, these are contributing to this towards this oData service. They wanted to improve the standards. Okay, so what is this oData basically? We have these web standards like XML and Atom. Okay, so what is this XML and Atom? XML, what is your opinion about XML language? No, it's not a user-friendly language. It's a document. It's a document carrying some information. Okay, if you see HTML, it has a predefined tags. It has a predefined set of rules. If it is label, you have to mark it with label. If it is an input field, you have to mark it with input. It's a markup language, right? But XML is an extended markup language. This is the it is a data source. Now say if I wanted to share one row of data like first name, last name, date of birth, gender, occupation, obviously what I see yesterday. So in XML tag, when I convert it, I will be creating my own tags tag like this. So first name is Arun. Last name, I create my own set of tags in XML. Okay, so it's up to your choice. You can use it last name or L name. Okay, my system understands. According to the XML document, it only says this in this way: starting tag and the ending tag for the same thing. Whatever in the middle is the value for this attribute. Okay, so this XML document carries some information. Okay, so XML document is the carrier of the information. That is what XML document basically is. Okay, there is something called Atom, which is something built on top of XML. Okay, yeah, it's some advanced features of XML. Okay, I will show you how the Atom will look. It is also no user defined set of tags, just like XML, with the extensible features of publishing and consuming. What do I mean by publishing and consuming? I can either put the data in them, post the data in them, or I can extract the data which is there in it. So that is what Atom format stands for. So this standards are I don't know the abbreviation here. Okay, so it was used in content management systems like Blogger. They uses the atom format to publish the data. Okay, so the concept is simple. If first name is the attribute, the value for the attribute will be contained within the first name tag. If last name is the attribute, the value for the last name will be contained within the last name tag. That is how it was created. Okay, so based upon this XML and Atom, Microsoft created this open data protocol. Okay, so this protocol access the data on the form of REST principles. Okay, REST stands for representational state transfer. That is what this REST stands for. Okay, it is nothing but a set of rules that perform the CRUD operations. Okay, you have this get which will retrieve the data, post which will insert the data, put it will update the data. Just four things here. That is not commands. Uh, these are functions. You don't have to remember this. Yeah, yeah. Get is to yeah, yeah. Okay. So with any data, your intent will be perform the CRUD operations. You know what is CRUD operations? CRUD stands for create, read, update, delete. So if you deeply understand what you have done so far in your career, any application you take, you will perform these four operations in the data. You either create a data or you read it or you update it or you delete it. So these are the four data, four operations that you can do. You cannot do anything more than that. Okay. Yeah, these are the four operations that you can do on a data. What else you can do? Okay. So this REST principles has the protocol for each of them. Get is to retrieve the data, that is to read. Post is to insert the data, that is to create. Put is to update the data, which is update. Delete is deleting the data. Okay, so based upon this principle, we access the oData services. Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so I perform this CRUD operations. Okay, now so we will just go through this slide. It is based upon industry standard HTTP, XML, and Atom, like I told you. Then it is based upon this REST-based architecture. Yeah, Atom is nothing but it is an XML based again, but with the yeah, it's an XML based along with the publishing and consuming. Okay, in the URL which I have provided you, you can get all the information about the oData. You have to pause and listen, or download the video and reduce the speed in the VLC. Actually, people who are able to speak fastly, they will be able to understand quick words. That was a psychological concept. Yeah, yeah, I will be speaking too fast. Actually, this is slow now. After years of practice, I made myself slow. Yeah, before and the time, no. From the college time, I will plan for 25 minutes presentation and I will give it in 5 minutes. I'll just come away. Why I'll just walk away. Okay, so mhm. Maybe because it is new for you, you may not be able to understand. I have been trying to explore each and everything that is coming, right? So I'm just somewhat in touch with them, so I get it what they were saying. So I feel it is a good information about OData. Okay, let's go back to the point. So OData, how it provides the data. Okay, OData provides the data in the form of URIs. URIs, which means unique resource identifier. Okay, so this is nothing but the URL. OData provides the data in the form of URI, which means yeah, it is there. Okay, so OData provides the data in the form of URI. It is a unique resource identifier, which means it provides the URL for service. When I access that URL, I will get the list of collections. Okay, so before going to that, OData services stores the data in the form of entity. Okay, you know what is an entity? The no, that is metadata. Data about a particular object. It's not a database. Say for example, a purchase order. Okay, all the operation related to purchase order forms an entity. Creating purchase order, updating purchase order, reading purchase order, deleting purchase order, rescheduling purchase order. So all the objects related to one particular entity, sorry, all the action related to one particular entity form particular object forms an entity. Okay, if you see business object repository, it's an entity based model, which means each and every business object will represent one thing, either a sales order or a customer. Okay, so if you take a customer, you will be able to see only operation related to customers. You won't be able to see something related to supplier there. Okay, okay. So if you take the business object, you will have only operation related to the object which you are dealing with. That is what an entity. Okay, so it stores the data in the form of an entity, which means relational information about one particular object. Okay, so if I consider sales order as an entity, is there only one sales order available? There can be any number of sales order, right? Okay, so grouping this, I call them as collections. Okay, so OData provides the data in the form of URI. Okay, URI is nothing but the URL for the service. It contains the list of collection, like what are the data I have, like customers, vendors, then products, something like that. Okay, now each and everything will contain the data in the form of entities like customer 1, customer 2, customer 3. Okay, so this is how you get the datas, right? Hello. So this is how the data will be returned. Okay, so once I show you the OData services, you will be very familiar with that. Okay, I just wanted you to understand that data are stored as an entity. Collection of entity is called as a collections. The service, the OData is provided. OData service is provided in the form of a URI, which is nothing but a URL for the service. When I access that URL, I get the list of collection. When I access the collection, I get the list of data within the collections. If I wanted to access the customer too, what should I do? Then I should get the URL for the OData services. In that I have to fetch the collection customer. In that I have to fetch the second record. Okay. So this is how the OData provides the service. Okay. Before that, wanted to clear things little more about this oData service for you. Okay. So, are you familiar with the concept of database interface in SAP? What does this database interface does? Even WebDen Pro above, we don't have a database interface. No, I was not talking about that. That was a PA interface, XIPI. It's an architectural concept. We have this presentation server, application server, database layer. Okay. Now, here I have several opportunities of having my database as my SQL. Then I have Sybase, DB2, Oracle. Right. I have several database options. It varies from company to company what database that they are intended to use. Some may prefer MySQL because they may be using it for a very long time. They don't want to buy a new server. Some may be using Oracle. Some may be using D2, DB2. Okay. So in our SAP, we are writing our application logic over here. Okay. So I have two options. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So what is this NetSQL and what is this OpenSQL? When I write the query directly in the language of the database which I have installed in the underlying, then it is called as a native SQL. If I use the SQL statement provided by the ABAP system, ABAP server, then it is a open SQL, which means this has no relation with the servers which are installed here. Okay, so there is a middleware component called database interface. What this database interface does is, it will identify the select statement that you have written here, then it will identify the database which is installed here. Now you have written the OpenSQL statement, you have installed Oracle system here. Then this database interface was programmed in a way that you interpret this SQL statement and you convert it into the Oracle SQL statement and then execute it on the Oracle server. Because Oracle server only executes the Oracle SQL statements. It does not execute your OpenSQL statements. It is converted by the database interface. Here is a component called database interface. Okay. So here the processing logic will get executed. It will interpret the OpenSQL statement and it will convert into the underlying database SQL statement. Okay. So that is how it does the job. Now, irrespective of the underlying database program, I can write any SQL statement on the top. Okay. Sorry. Irrespective of underlying the database, I write only one SQL statement and that is capable of interpreting with the all the other statements. Right. That is capable of interpreting. My OpenSQL statement is able to get executed on the all the server based on because of my database interface. Yes. Now this is the same concept with the oData. Irrespective of the database which I have, okay, I will expose the data. Okay, assume this. Irrespective of the database server I have, I will expose the data in the form of oData. Okay, I will expose the data in the form of oData. Now, any system, irrespective of the programming language it uses, no different database. PHP, JavaScript, .NET, Ajax, irrespective of any web technology I am using for, don't forget our SAP UI5. irrespective, irrespective of any programming language which we use, they all get to the same access. Irrespective of any database server it uses in the backend, this protocol converts the data in the one understandable format, and this understandable format is acceptable by all the programming languages. Okay. Now, yeah, now my oData service is consumable by any of this language. Okay. So this is a generic type of exposing your information. You got the idea what it is. So people they call it as a to a ODBC connectivity of the this database. It is similar to ODBC connectivity. Okay. So when the data is requested, it will go and fetch the data from here and it will expose the data here in the understandable format by all the things. Any database server, this protocol will convert the data fetched from any database server into OData. It's a format. Yeah, we are fetching data. What it will do, you are updating the data from using UI5. You are updating the oData. So when it is being put back into the database server using the put operation, then it will convert into the corresponding database. Okay. Yeah, vice versa. Okay. So you get the data in the format which is accessible by any technology. So that is the advantage you get by using. You don't have to worry about that. That was the part of the protocol. Yeah. Yes. Okay, you just consume the data in the open format and you just put the data in the open format. Then whatever is the underlying database, it has to do it in the same way. Now what the companies does, they will expose their data in the form of oData. I am free to access that oData services and I am going to create the application on top of that. Okay, so what I am going to do is, I am just going to show you the demo of oData services. Yeah, it is recording. Okay, so this is the home page for the oData. Here you can get more information on oData services. oData.org. Yeah, the same one. Which one? No. There is no option. This one. That is to getting started. Okay, forget it. You just click on this oData services. Okay, here there are some of the sample services that are available. We are just going to consume these services. So I'm just going to make use of this oData services. So if you see here, this is an URI. This is how the oData provides the service in the form of URI. Okay. Now if you see here, categories, customers, employees, orders, these are collections. Within each and every collection there can be a number of datas. Okay. So now I'm just going to open a REST API client. You have to install this REST API plugin. Most of the time you will not be able to install it. This one. This one. This one. This one. I'm showing the oData services screen. Is it? No, no, I'm in advanced REST client. Yeah. Just type advanced REST API client in Google. You will get this plugin. Yeah. Okay. So now this is the service I'm going to consume. Okay, Northwind is the service I'm going to consume. This service is a oData service which provide me the data in the form of URI. Okay, so I have got the URI. I'm pasting it and I'm entering. Here I get the list of collection. This URI contains data about categories, customers, employees, orders, products and all. It exposes a number of data for me. Now, say for example, I wanted to know what are the data there in the customers. Okay, so I just copy the name for the, yeah, this is not the coding part. I am showing the output of the service, oData service. Okay, so this is the oData service which is available publicly. This oData service provides information on these collections. Okay, now I specifically wanted to see what are the customer details that this service provides. So I have copied the customer collection, then I have pasted it up next to the URI, along with the URI. I concatenated it. Now I get the list of customer details. Customer ID is self key, customer name is Maria Anders. Okay, so I have like around 20 customers. Okay, now if I wanted to know how the structure is being defined for the customers, what are the key fields, then what I can do is, along with the service, I just have to include the metadata attribute. Okay, now it shows me the structure for each and every entity. So for the entity customer, it shows customer ID is the key field and all other are ordinary fields. Yes, so that is the structure for the customer. Okay, okay, so you will be able to see the key. Then other things are fields. This is how the structure was defined. So this is the name of the attribute components: customer ID, customer name, contact title, and so on. So if you see here, I am using the get operation here, which means I am reading the data from the server. Okay. So these services do not have these options of post, put, and delete. You forget about this. Only these four are important: get, post, put, and delete. You forget about the rest. Yeah. Okay. Now, if I wanted to select queries, some queries, like I wanted where in the customer details, I wanted to get the customer whose customer ID is equal to this, is equal to the ID of the customer. Existing ID. So I have a list of customers here. Okay. Now when I access the collection gave me all the records in it. When I access customer, it gave me all the records in the customer. I don't want that. I don't want all the information. I only wanted the person with the customer ID alpha key. Yeah, so what I'm doing, along with this query, along with the URL, I am attaching some parameters, which is filter parameter, saying that you have to perform the filter operation for the criteria customer ID is equal to alpha key. Now I will get the data only for the customer, only one customer. Yeah, so only one customer. So this is how you have to filter the data from the URL. Okay, suppose if I wanted to fetch only the top 5 records, like up select up to 10 rows, then I have to pass the parameter dollar top is equal to 5. So if I wanted to fetch the data from 5 to 10, okay, then means I need 5 records starting from the number 5. I wanted data between 5 to 10. Okay, so what I will do, I will skip the first 5, then I will start with the next 5. Sorry, if I have 10 records, I will skip the first 5, then in the remaining data I will pick the first 5. So I will just give top 5 and I will also say skip 5. Okay, which means no, it will skip the first 5. Yeah, it will skip the first 5 and after skipping the first 5 it will take the top 5 values. You want it between, okay, first 5 and last 5 you don't want. Which means you wanted 5 to 10. Okay, yeah, first 5 you don't want. That is what we have done now, right? No, no, you are not getting my point. Say you have records like this. One, okay, 10. Now when I say top 5 and skip 5, top 5 and skip 5, first it will perform the skip operation. So it will skip these 5 records. So from here it will take the top 5. Okay, so that is how you have to fetch. Yeah, now obviously the same thing has been done. What would happen? First 5 has been skipped, then it picks only the next 5 records. It won't touch the other 5 records. Because I am saying only fetch me 5 records. Okay, you got it. So this is how you need to access the oData services. So oData services is nothing but a URL you had. You had the URL. Uh, yes, this is the way. Yeah, this is the way we are fetching the oData. It is not generating code. It is giving you the data. Okay, somebody has created a service and he is exposing me the data. I'm just showing the output. Okay, so you just, here we won't be able to create. We will be creating in our SAP system. Yeah, we are an ABAP developer. Don't forget that. We have to create in our system only. Yes. Yes. Now only you are getting the point. Somebody has created, we are seeing the output. So now we have to create the oData services and we see our output. Uh-huh. Will be. Yes, obviously. Yeah, tomorrow. Yes, not the URL will not be the same thing. This is the URL of the service somebody has created. When we create our own services, we will have our new URL. Okay. Yeah, data format will be the same. Okay. Okay, then I will stop the recording and I will send it to you tomorrow.